Hi, Andrey. Thank you for accepting my invitation for this interview. The first question is, can you introduce yourself and your career?
Sure. My name is Andrey Stefashin, a senior project manager at OCT Clinical. I have been working in this company for more than 4 years now. Over the 14 years of my experience in clinical research, I have been in charge of monitoring and managing projects in different therapeutic areas and phases in both local and global CROs. As a supervisor with a medical degree, I perform project supervision and clinical studies planning and consider the risk of each scenario. My responsibilities also include studies budgeting and coordination of activities associated with study deliverables across all internal departments and vendors.
Okay, and what is your company about?
OCT is a team of highly qualified professionals passionate about their work, who dedicate their expertise and experience to accelerate across global medicine for patients all over the world. Thanks to the efforts of the team, OCT has become one of the leading full-service CROs in Central and Eastern Europe, with over 300 projects in its portfolio. People are our greatest assets and value. Working with OCT means that we're always open for communications. We are fully committed to each client and are always ready to deliver to study specific needs.
Okay, and what is your actual offer?
OCT delivers full service clinical support from the research planning stage up to drug authorization. We perform all types of trials, phase 1 for clinical trials, PK studies, bioequivalence trials, post-marketing studies, and preclinical research in multiple indication in over than 20 therapeutic areas.
Okay, and what do you think your company can bring in the pharmaceutical world?
Our goal is to contribute to the ongoing global evaluation of medicine and to reduce the burden of drug development timelines. We want to facilitate access to global medicine for global patients, and we do so by delivering high quality, efficient, and ethical expertise to the global arena.
Okay, and what makes your company unique, and what is your added value?
Several points here, and I will describe them. So we have been running operation in Europe and this region for more than 15 years. We have in-depth knowledge of these local clinical trial markets. So one of the points is flexibility. Our approach is always tailored to the specific clinical development needs of our customers. The next one is efficient communication. We apply to a single window approach when communicating with a sponsor. There is a single point of the contact, a highly qualified project manager. We are always only a phone call or an email away. Another one is the risk management approach. What is it? We provide sponsors with full transparency from the beginning or to the final stage of the study. Due to our vast experience, we can anticipate most of the risk at the study design development stage. Also, no compromise. We never settle for a compromise when choosing between quality, timeline, and budget. We always deliver the best on all three.
Okay, and can you tell me a bit more on what is your strategy focus on?
We regard every project as a contribution to the success of our partners' drug development strategy. We will continue to serve as a trusted and reliable partner to all our existing global clients and every new sponsor that joins our CRO family.
Okay, and I was wondering how clinical trials and research were impacted by COVID-19.
Thank you for this good question. Now it is quite clear now that the pandemic has negatively affected the whole clinical research community. Just a couple of examples to mention. The participants have to self-isolate or sometimes withdraw from the studies. Study participants and CRAs cannot visit study because many of them are on the lockdown. Many study participants and personnel have contacted the coronavirus. Hospitals changed their profile and focus to treat COVID-19 patients. So many routine activities are either stopped or reduced to a minimum. Also, one of the points is relocation of clinical trial personnel and resources towards other priority health care duties. And also the healthcare system and resources in general are overloaded. All these have significant implications for clinical trials since the pandemic affects trial participants, clinical staff, and CROs. One more potential problems comes with the logistic issues in terms of IP. How to deliver medication directly to the patient and ensure that they receive it. How to maintain and monitor site stock if the site stock is on lockdown. And this is only a small part of the questions that the industry has been facing.
And yeah, it's clear that with COVID-19, a lot of things are changing in the field of clinical trials. But how do you think that clinical trials post-COVID-19 will be, and also in a few years?
Yeah, clinical trials will never go back to the way they had been conducted before the pandemic. Many of the changes we are making now to adapt to the pandemic will remain even after the pandemic is over. As you know, FDA and EMA and most of the national healthcare agencies have issued their recommendations on how to conduct clinical trials during the COVID-19. They are recommending using remote monitoring and visits to avoid any unnecessary risk of patients getting infected. As the result, digital health technologies have become a potential solution. The effect of this pandemic could transform the future of the clinical trials towards virtual trials and telehealth. But for the nearest future, I believe that risk-based monitoring and centralized monitoring approach will be the most effective solution. On the bright side, all the systems that we need for this are already in place. However, the functionality will certainly be improved and advanced.
Okay. And how does your CRO manage trials in this situation? What measures have been taken?
From the very beginning, we have prepared a detailed analysis of the impact of COVID-19 on every project and set up an action plan. We collect and analyze incoming information continuously in order to adjust the risk mitigation plan in each country of operation. Our project managers have updated monitoring plans to include remote monitoring procedures, and risk management plans were updated for every project as well. Right now, majority of our monitoring visits are conducted remotely via regular TCs and phone calls. We have also included the risk related to travel limitations for our CRAs, temporary site closure, inability of participants to travel, courier company limitations, shortage of study supplies. And of course, we do all of this focusing on subject safety and data integrity, and the safety of our own employees as well.
I had one last question, and what kind of technology could be used to develop clinical trials virtually?
Thank you for this good question. I think that audio and video interaction tools, telehealth, direct transfer of medical data from the electronic medical records to eCRF using patient-facing technologies. Also, some of these aspects are already virtualized and used by the companies. I can provide you with some examples. For instance, remote consent, remote randomization, remote data capture and reporting. These processes can potentially allow sponsors to reach a larger population of participants, while improving subject retention, engagement, and retention. Virtual technologies can also be applied to drug supplies and monitoring. Development of digital and virtual technologies may have a great potential to transform clinical trials. However, we should keep in mind that many of these processes will, with a virtualization approach, are still under discussion, waiting to be validated and approved by regulators.
Okay. Thank you very much, Andrey, for this interesting interview that can give us a bit of insight about the future of clinical trials and how it will be after the pandemic. Thank you very much for your time.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.